Welcome back, gearheads and movie buffs. I'm Craig Lieberman, one of the people who helped bring some of the most iconic cars in the Fast and the Furious franchise to life. On this channel, we go under the hood and behind the scenes to explore the real stories, specs, and secrets of the cars that became legends. Whether you're into JDM or muscle or movie magic, you're in the right place.
Hi everyone, Craig Lieberman here. After the first Fast and Furious film, Universal was anxious to make a sequel. Almost the entire production team got together to address a very important matter: picking the cars for the sequel. By this time, Paul and I were friends, and we mostly talked about cars. He had tons of questions. He had also met Sean Morris, who at the time was working at Motorex, a company that imported Skyline GTRs and federalized them so they could be driven here in the United States. It is my understanding that Sean was the one who introduced Paul to Skyline GTRs. In fact, Sean was probably the biggest influence in turning Paul into a Skyline fan. We decided to go to Motorex on the same day.
The next time I met you after Universal, I think, maybe at an event we kind of passed
No, you actually came.
I came to Motorex.
With Paul. No? You came with, Paul, and I'm pretty sure you and Paul came together to the shop.
The first time? The second time, the silver car, when we were talking about the silver car. Because the first time
I think it was you and Paul came. I remember Paul being there and just us like kind of sitting in the warehouse talking about cars. That was before we even bought anything, before you guys were.
Okay, so you're right. So we were just talking cars, but
And you were saying you guys were. Honestly, it was before the movie even came out.
Yes,
I want to say because we were sitting in there,
and then it was
and you guys were like, oh, we're gonna get R34s and all that stuff, and honestly, I'm like, yeah, okay, right. I'm like, okay, cool, so right, okay, I'll believe you when when it actually happens. So yeah.
So then, right after that, I bought the car. I came back to you and I bought the Blackbird. Now, Paul had, in between that, been driving the Blackbird for a while.
For a little bit.
Couple of months, a month, whatever. He did a video with some those guys.
Right, yes. They got your friends, yeah.
My buddy.
Yours and mine too.
Jim Motor. Anyway, Mark Fernandez, I'll never forget that guy. Anyway, long story short. So in that video, and it wasn't by any ill intent, they said, Paul had said he was going to buy this car, but he wound up not buying the car.
Right.
And then that made it available for me, and I think I looked at the paperwork. I think it was October of that year I bought the car.
Yeah.
So it was after the movie.
So Blackbird was the demo car for Motorex.
Right.
I don't think we really had too many intentions of selling it. I think more than anything, we had gotten Hero had gotten the silver one for Paul,
right, which
he ended up not liking because it was silver and he said it had some paint and like two-tone. The silvers are almost always like three-tone anyway. So we ended up getting him another car, which a white V-Spec, yeah. So and then in there, you had bought Blackbird,
right? And
then we'd sold other cars to other people and other things.
But after that, there were 6 months. 6 months. I was modifying the car. Too Fast, Too Furious hadn't even been discussed with me yet, and then we had the discussion once I went up to their new production office up in Santa Monica, which was right off the Santa Monica freeway right there. It was literally right there. Yeah. And showed them the GTR, and they said, yeah, we're going to do that. And that's when I came back to you.
I wasn't there. I'd left then.
Oh, that's right.
I'd left.
I think it was a Ken.
July 24th, 2001. I bought the first R34 GTR in the USA, and Paul ordered the second GTR. I paid $78,000 for mine with a full C-West kit. My GTR was black. One magazine called it the Blackbird. I was reluctant about buying a black car because I do not like black cars. And I wanted to get some press. I decided to change the color to blue. Why blue? The blue color helped me get on the front of many magazine covers. After that, I started on the performance modifications. Many people helped me, including friends from my club, Art in Motion, and others at a place called AEBS. Once we finished my car, Universal wanted to see it. They liked it and wanted it for Too Fast, Too Furious. In total, we had 5 real GTRs We also needed stunt cars and a jump car. For the skylines in this movie, all of them were real GTR skylines. In Too Fast, Too Furious, the Mick rig version of my GTR was actually a 240 SX. This rig was used in scenes where we needed close-ups of Brian driving from outside the car. It is part of movie trickery. In fact, almost any time you see cameras looking into the car, it is either a Mick rig shot or a shot with a stationary car on a soundstage using a green screen background. When we were finished with the movie, the cars went all over the world. We found one principal car that was driven by Paul Walker all the way in Norway. Now, you will be able to see a piece of history in Germany with chrome cars. Here are some fun facts about the GTR. Number 1, we needed 5 GTRs. Number 2, each GTR had 3 bottles of nitrous that were 15 pounds each. One for the intercooler, another for the engine, and the engine intake. These kits cost $10,000 for the setup. Number 3, the nitrous oxide system was my idea. Number 4, most of the equipment in the GTRs was designed by me because Universal copied my GTR. I designed the audio and the video systems. Number 5, so we bought 4 more real GTRs from MotorX for $48,000 plus freight, which was $15,000 for each one from Japan. All shipped via air on a 747 cargo plane. Number 6, those building the copies of my car hated it, allegedly, since they preferred muscle cars. Number 7, once they were completed, the actors like Paul Walker had to train on these cars. As for who has my original Blackbird, it's now with a proud owner in New Jersey. Now, before you go, here's a quick word from my friend John about what's been going on with me and my condition.
Hey everyone, I know you've come here expecting to see Craig, but unfortunately he's not able to create content right now, so I'm stepping in for him. My name's Johnny, and I'm one of his longtime childhood friends. In that photo right there, next to me is my cousin Chris, Craig, and another longtime childhood friend of ours, Brian. We all grew up together with the same passion for working on, modifying, and customizing cars, and the 4 of us are still very close after all these years. You've probably noticed that Craig hasn't been posting any new content for quite a while now, and there's a good reason for that. Craig is currently battling a serious neurological disorder that is affecting his speech, his health, and managing everyday tasks. If you're watching this, you likely already know who Craig is. He's the guy who helped bring the Fast and Furious films to life via the cars, the details, the culture, and most of you know they even used his personal cars in the first 2. The beloved iconic orange Supra, his blue Maxima, and of course the silver R34 Skyline. For years, Craig's been giving back to the car community, sharing his vast knowledge with fans both young and old, and not just here in the United States, all over the world. He's created content, gone live, and answered questions via this YouTube channel. In addition, he's attended events and shared candid behind-the-scenes stories both about the cars and the actors. And never did he ask for anything in return. But right now, Craig needs that same car community behind him. My cousin Chris has been working behind the scenes, doing everything he can to help get the word out via Facebook, Instagram, etc. And Craig's wife, Ann, has set up a GoFundMe page to help Craig and the family with the care and support he currently needs. As you can imagine, the doctor visits, medical testing, and treatments are extremely costly. There's a link in the description below, and if Craig has ever helped you, inspired you, or even just entertained you, and we all know what a joker he is, we're asking you to please give back in any way you can. If you can't donate, even just liking and sharing this video means everything, because someone else may see it who can donate. So just by liking and sharing, you're rallying with us. We love you, Craig, and we're not going to let you go through this alone. Thank you all for watching.